All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Team Call. Glad to see all your smiling faces on New Year. Excited to see what we got in store for the year. Let's jump straight into some leaderboards here. Hang on just a second. Oops. I can get my screen share. Test for the new year. All right. We're off and running. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's hit some leaderboards for last month. We had, let me minimize some things here so I can see. All right. Riders for last month, guys. Top 10, we had Brandon Hagel had $21.88, $2,188. Kenneth Nelson, new rider, $4,593. Jim Arch, $7,101. Greg Aist, $8,525. Myself came in at $9,000 even, edged out by Donna Bates, $9,049. Stella Dinwiddie, $11,991. Sydney Lee, $17,797. Stacy Love, number 2 spot, $18,792. No stranger to the number 1 position, Mr. Spencer Kushian, $22,791. Great month, Spencer. Let's hit app count. We'll do, let's just do top 5 here just for sake of time. Sydney Lee, 10 applications. Jim Arts, 11. Stella Dinwiddie had 14 applications. Spencer Kushian had 18. And Miss Stacy Love, 29 applications. That is phenomenal. I think we're going to see here in a minute, Stacy Love has figured out the whole app count game. Base shops, we had Stella Dinwiddie coming in at 46,622. Menefee base shop at 68,554. App count, the Dinwiddie agency, 45 apps. Menefee agency, 68 applications. New riders, welcome to the team, new riders. Great job. Brandon Hagel, Kenneth Nelson, Joanna Nelson, I don't think any relation, and Sheikh Stovall, all brand new riders. Congratulations. Welcome. As we always say, if you can write 1, if you can write 2, if you can write 2, you get yourself a business started. So keep up the great work and keep looking to add those applications. Seasoned new agents, guys, this is exciting. This is a this is one of actually the first milestone in your journey to the top in this company, and it's a big one. It's not one that we take lightly, and seasoned new agent is a great first step. So hats off, congratulations to Kenneth Nelson, seasoned new agent, part of the fast growing Stacy Love team. Speaking of Stacy Love, you all saw the app count, so you know that means our Golden Chicken Award winner once again for the end of the year, final award given out for the year 2022. Stacy Love, 29 applications. That is an amazing job, Stacy. For the week, we have 30 apps, 19,946 so far. This is as of last night, so obviously we have a lot of numbers coming in today. But in preparation for leaderboards, we pull Thursday evening. So anything comes in on Friday, be looking out for the Friday Chasers email that goes out to recognize those applications. So far for the week, we have the Dinwiddie agency at 6,667, Menefee base shop at 13,279. Top riders so far for the week, and again, realize there's a lot of business coming in. We have Spencer Kushian at $856, Donna Bates at $2,708. We have Stella Dinwiddie at $6,667. Great job, Stella. Stacy Love, 24 applications, has almost hit her app count from last month in 1 week. And actually, for those of you who are following on through, did a big chunk of that in 1 day yesterday. So that is phenomenal. Keep putting up those 16, 18 app count days, Stacy, and yeah, you're gonna be zooming to the top of the national leaderboards definitely. So
Chris,
9,000.
can I just add something really quick on that, please,
Yeah,
for all the newbies?
please
So
do.
I just want to revisit that. In one day, how many apps did you have, Stacy?
18.
18 applications in one day and over 5,000 APV. So the reason I just want to just really just let it sink in is when I first started here and I was broke as a joke, buying 50-cent leads and, crying about how I'm going to pay my bills. Chris, you said we can go from zero to hero. To this day, that has stuck with me. And this is just another beautiful example. We're always in the Zoom room, we're always dialing. Sometimes it doesn't happen in a day or 2 days or 3 days. You think that you could just jump in and buy 10 leads or something and go to town. It doesn't work like that. You got to build up momentum. And because Stacy and I are always Zooming, and you just never know. And once you get that momentum, you ride it. But I just want to just bring that up because that's so incredible to me. 18 applications over 5,000 in one day. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. No, I thank you, Stella, for hopping in and putting some emphasis on that. Absolutely.
Hey, if I can piggyback off of that, since we're
Yep,
talking about it. Well, the cool thing is most of the apps came from one family and there were a lot of people there. So the woman had recently had a stroke and she was young. She's 41, just had a stroke, wanted coverage for herself, didn't have any insurance. And she said, you know what? I need to get everyone I love protected. So she started calling her kids. We wrote apps on all 8 of her grandchildren, her 2 daughters, her 3 daughters, and her 1 son. And then her niece that was helping her, we're going to work on her app with her daughter today, and then her sister and her mother tomorrow. So that all spun from just a conversation with one person and her seeing the importance and pulling all of her family members in. So we just 4 hours later, we had all the apps done for everyone. So.
And Stacy, isn't it a much better way to do business, to do all your business in 4 hours as opposed to 4 weeks?
It's nice.
I think we need to have a team called Dedicated and just let Stacy talk about getting more apps in one home. I
think that's a great idea. Yeah, that's an important point because our lead system is designed to get your foot in the door. It's not designed to be the door. It's designed to get your foot in the door, and from that, you should be splitting out into many different areas. So, so yeah, great job, Stacy. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea, Stella. We'll definitely get Stacy on deck, talk about that. So Mondays, role play training, guys. This is where you actually take what you're learning or what you're working on or just what you're doing in your business. I'm always fascinated when I watch athletes and the fact that, even at the top level, they still go to practice every day. They still work with personal trainers. They still are constantly refining the process. And that is missed so many times in this business, guys. This is a business. It's a complicated moving parts business, and you have to continue working on it. I continue working on it, even having been in this multiple years now, just recommitting myself to training this year to jump back in, not jump back in, to jump into some new resources to continue refining my skill. And so the whole point of doing those trainings is now we have to turn around and implement that. But before you implement that, when you learn that skill or you want to refine that skill, do that through role play. Don't try to practice in the home. Practice with other people who know how this sales cycle goes, can give you real-time feedback and allow you to make the adjustments that you need to make sure that you have that refined before you start talking to that client. So join us on Monday mornings. You can see the times there, grab that, and come be a part of that. Welcome to the team, guys. We've been doing this for a while. We want engagements, more engagement on this team. So those of you who are recruiting, building a team, get your folks to this meeting. We love the opportunity to meet them, hang out. It's very, very informal. We don't do any training. We don't do any rah-rah. It's all about getting to know your people and what their goals are for this business, and just make that connection. How can we help them be a part of this team and feel welcome. So come join us on Wednesday evenings. Standing lead orders. Obviously veterans here know the importance of that and have this in place. If you're just now getting ramped up or you're brand new and you're thinking, well, what can I do to make sure that I have the resources I need in my hands at all time? Standing lead order is the way to go, because that makes sure that you have leads in your hand every week to be able to make those contacts and then be able to leverage that into more business, to be able to grow your book of business through referrals. So check with your upline mentor on how to set that up. Speaking of leads, we had this on the national call announced. If you feel like you are shortchanged or you're not finding what you want, or you're wanting to set up a standing lead order in an area where you feel like you have a high probability of getting returns, look at the states, gang. This is, these are areas that the company has identified that they can generate increased lead flow. So take advantage of this and plan accordingly. The FIF resets. This is something we're really going to be pushing hard this year because I love every time I hear Mike Resma talk. He's such a high energy guy, but I love what he's creating in the culture. There is no thing as a no sale. We've all got to adopt that mindset. Even myself, that is something that we all have to get on board with. There is no such thing as a no sale. Every conversation's got to result, or from a conversation from a presentation standpoint, has got to result in a conversion. We have the low-hanging fruit of My Quility, which is a free program. Again, if we can't sell free, we've got some big problems, because a lot of our cases require money, and we have a program that literally we can sign everybody up, and you can generate revenue and commissions off of those signups as they start to use that program. I took a trip here last week, saved money on dining out, saved money on car rental, and so guys, it's a lifestyle program. It saves you money. We had a prescription for one of the members of our family here recently that was not covered by insurance. Was a $500 prescription for like a 6-month supply or something like that. Saved like $200 on that prescription. So the real savings here. So again, with the FIF resets, I'm kind of chasing a little bit here off on My Quility, but the point of this is tap into this training and understand how to put this into work into your process. Make this part of your process, because this will generate additional revenue for you passively. And again, we've got to get over the mindset that there are no sales. There are no sales. There's always something to be uncovered. And sometimes that means us kind of breaking the ice, warming up the client, and then moving them on to a subject matter expert to kind of go through their retirement situation and find an opportunity for them to be able to improve their retirement situation. Onboarding, this is ongoing. Those of you who have been recruiting for a while, I'm going to minimize this so I can see everything here on the slide. So we have a new process. Kind of a quick side note here. A lot of times when you were brand new, if you brought somebody on, because you were at the same contract level on paper anyway, they were listed as direct to your mentor. Because you're both at the same contract, you couldn't have somebody underneath you. Now, from a numbers counting standpoint, we always made the adjustment. We made sure you got credit for anybody that you brought on, and got those numbers that would count towards your total volume for promotions and all that good stuff. Now we've created in the onboarding section, this allows new agents to immediately establish reporting hierarchy. So you get somebody brand new on, they're excited, they want to bring a team on. We always encourage that. Somebody sees this for what it is, a business opportunity, and they want to build an agency. And the best time to start is this first day they walk in themselves. You know, we've had countless number of people who started recruiting before they even got onboarded. Classic example in our team, John Paul Vetter started recruiting before he even got his license finished, had people lined up. Now, when he brought people in, you know, because of the contract levels, a lot of times they may have been listed direct to me. Wasn't for long, because obviously we all know what John Paul took off and hit the ground running. But the point is, this now creates a situation where you can build your agency, not just on paper, but actually in our structure. And they set that up, which I appreciate them taking the time and the effort to actually create that. Certainly helps us from a numbers tracking standpoint. And then, so anyway, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. Again, the main thing here is this just helps those up and coming building a team to have that in their hierarchy, and helps us on the leadership side to not have to kind of track those numbers separately. Spring Fling Leader Summit and Spring Fling, guys, sign up, be there. This is this is, in my opinion, on the level of conference, but with a twist, because this is all about leadership. You know, conference, they roll out a bunch of stuff, and it's all things that have been kind of through the testing phase, or getting close to breaking out of testing phase, getting ready to roll out. When you get to Leader Summit, you get a little bit peek behind the curtain, what's going on behind the scenes. This is kind of, you know, this is the you know, key to the hidden clubhouse, if you will. So get to this event. What does it take to qualify key leader or above? But here's the good news. All you have to do is hit key leader numbers anytime between now and the end of February to get an invitation. This is invitation only, so you will have to get an invitation. But just hit those numbers. Key leader qualification, minimum of 20,000 net placed with 4 sales reps. You can count yourself as one of those. So that just means 3 other sales reps direct to yourself. And you qualify for key leader, we'll get an invitation. So put that on your agenda. You have basically this month and next month to qualify for that. And or if you did qualify between November and December, but if you haven't yet, then you have this month and next month. So get to that meeting, gang. That's a very important meeting that will really open the curtain on some things that are going on and give you an opportunity to get on that fast track. This was announced. This is exciting. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this today, but Quality Term Plus is getting closer and closer to be a actuality. They're projecting, looks like, by end of February. And then also on top of that, the Quality Navigator, which is a single point application that will allow us to basically fill out one application and then direct that whichever direction we need it to go, whether it be a term product. Right now, it's going to be for quality level term, as Quality Term Plus. But again, we're going to talk about some of the other things coming down the pipe this morning, and how Navigator is going to play into that. This is exciting, though. This is highly innovative. Not aware of any other company in the industry, and really, this is, you know, in business in general, this is going to be very rare for us to see a single point application. Anytime you have to do an application for a client in any type of sales cycle, typically your applications have to be specific to a product. Having one application instead of us filling out a bunch of different applications trying to figure out what they can get qualified for, having this application not only collect all that information, but then direct it towards the product that they qualify for. Man, that's game changer. Time saver, paper saver, data saver. This is going to be exciting, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Hey, book club. This has been a really fantastic discussion. We had another great session yesterday. A lot of great inputs. So join us on Thursdays. Take some time. You know, one of the key tenets, in fact, it's our 4 cornerstones of personal development, the foundation of our system. One of those is massive action, constant correction, work on yourself more than you do your business. This is where you do that. And this is where your opportunity, again, same with the role play, this is opportunity to take that personal development and come to the table and share what you're taking away, but also listen to what other people are taking away. We've got a wide variety of backgrounds and experiences here, and that's such a huge opportunity to get somebody else's input on the same materials that we're reading. So join us on Thursdays with Stella. National conference, guys, they announced this on Thursday. I'm excited. Going to be back in Denver August 9th through the 11th, 2023. I think they said they're going to be rolling out sign up for this sometime in the next month or so. I don't believe that's live yet. Maybe for the spring fling or the spring tours that are going to be happening. But just go ahead, block this time out on your calendar. This is our Super Bowl game. This is where your business makes or breaks. And we've seen so many people who were with us this last August. We've seen just such huge growth and development. And man, this is exciting to be back in Denver in August. So put that on your calendars. Oh, last thing. Glad Ash put this in. She came up, our admin extraordinaire, Ashley Hagel, has a great idea she brought to me last week. Love her forethought and trying to bring value to the agency. Meetings announcements. Now we know, HQ, you can go in and find meetings announcements. We have meeting announcements go out throughout the week, but she's going to be putting out a email every Friday with basically upcoming meetings announcements, kind of all consolidated into one email for the week coming. We'll still give you reminders, so as you're out and about, maybe you need that reminder to, come through before the next meeting so you remember to jump on. But this will give you kind of an outline of what's coming up for the week, so you can kind of be thinking ahead of what's going to be happening and planning out your week accordingly. And make sure that you're blocking out time for these important meetings. Again, part of this business is not just going out and doing the business, but engaging in the system and the process to make sure that you know what is happening to be able to turn it around and implement that into your business. So big shout out to Ash for coming up with this idea and putting this information in your hands so you can plan out your week accordingly. So going to stop a share here, and I'm going to take a quick break and give all of our mentors time to give any shout outs, any recognitions, and who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Stacy.
I beat you, Stella. Ah! It usually takes me forever to unmute because I can't find the button half the time. But I just want to say welcome to Mark and Christina Feldstein. I think this is their first team meeting. They are licensed agents out of the state of Texas, currently residing in a place a little bit warmer. And congratulations to Stefan for 1, passing his exam. 2, he has recently made dials. He's fully licensed now, and has also set 2 appointments off of some very, very, very old leads. So I'm very excited about his progress so far with some really challenging people. And also welcome again to Cinnamon. She's no stranger to our team cost. She was with us in Denver in August, and she's preparing to take her Colorado state licensing exam. So welcome, everyone. So happy that you're here.
Awesome.
That's so awesome. And I had the opportunity of meeting Stefan in our Zoom room. He's amazing. And I don't see Timmy here, but he was with us yesterday in the book club, and that was so much fun. I wanted to let you know that on that book club, thank you for everybody that's been joining us. I know some of you have other schoolwork and and other obligations. I get it. I totally get it. But just know, if you want to start getting a head start now, our next book that we're going to cover is the one that everybody's really excited about, that we talked about on the national call just a couple of days ago. the power of engagement. It's either the power of full engagement. I have it written down.
Power of full engagement.
The power of full engagement. Thank you, Chris. The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Loehr, Loehr, and Tony Schwartz. And it's about managing energy, not time. And that's a big deal here. And I'm super excited to dig into that book next. But we've got about, we calculated we're going to do 2 chapters a week with the 5 voices. And that's another one that SFG highly recommends. And we've been doing about 2 chapters. We're going to start doing 2 chapters a week to try to wrap it up in the next 3 weeks. And speaking of weeks, this month in January, I think it's like a 5-week month, because it started on the last day to submit business this month is January 27th, and the last day to count for issue paid business is the 31st. That's a big deal. We've got a lot of weeks in January, and that's a big deal for those of you going to the Spring Fling. I'm going to be going to the Spring Fling. I already got my reservations at the hotel, and everything's wrapped up. A bunch of people that I know that even though they haven't qualified, they're already making reservations. They're just counting on it. All you need is 3 additional riders and a net place of 20,000. That's it. You can do it. You can totally do it. And then in regards to shout out, I just want to shout out, that was an awesome month. Jim Arch last month. Loved seeing your name up there on the leaderboard. And Greg Ace also back up on the leaderboard. Super duper excited. Greg Ace, I mentioned it in the chat room. I know that the FIF is important. Yes, it is. But if you're nervous about it and you're like, gosh, I'm sitting with a client, I just, you're kind of hesitant, reach out to Greg. He posted his number. Ask him, I've got this client. Would you mind talking with them? And what I tell people is, because I was kind of shy about filling out that FIF form. And it's not so much that, but also it doesn't go to Greg in our hierarchy. They don't have that set up yet. And I just simply say something on the lines of, gosh, I'm not sure that he'll be able to help you, but it sounds, I've worked with an awesome team of experts. And there's a gentleman who specifically is an expert in the arena of retirement solutions. And it sounds like you might be able to leverage, what you have there. These are for the people that will tell you, oh, I don't need anything. I've got a 401k, that's, 300,000 in it, the mortgage, whatever it is. They're uneducated when they say that, because what they don't know is they could lose that to the market. They could have to use it. They're going to get taxed on it. So it's not 300,000 after it gets paid out. There's all different kinds of things. And Greg can help educate them on that. That's not my area of expertise. So I'll just say, hey, I can have them reach out to you. Would you like that? You can have a second opinion. And usually they're like, yeah, that'd be great. Sure, I'd welcome that. And I'll send Greg their phone number and email, and I'll say, yes, his name is Greg Ace. And, he's an expert in this area, and he could talk to you more about that. But he's really wanted to throw that out there, because that's been super helpful for me. We got paid out for annuities. Like, it seems like almost every month, just from referring people to Greg, because he knows how to take care of them. And then there's so much more that I want to talk about, but I'll just keep it quick. Lastly is, because I've got some Razor Ridge leads that are popping in, so forgive me if I look distracted. Cindy Lee, I didn't see you on here at the beginning of the meeting, and that's okay, but you missed out. You were up on the leaderboards for 17,000. Congratulations, my beautiful, awesome, amazing gal. 17,000. That is amazing, girlfriend. So you were on, she's our DFL girl. I know that we have Spencer does DFLs on here also, who's also a rock star. But I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everybody. So that's it, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stella. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I've got actually a call later today with Greg. We've got a follow-up meeting, and then another one on Monday. So definitely plug into his resources. Guys, the FIF form, just so you know, there's an FIF form in HQ, financial information form. Fill that out every time. Again, this is how we get to, there are no sales. Fill that form out. You don't have to submit it. There's a place that's going to submit it, which would go to the team. But yeah, you could reach out to Greg to do the, because, and what I love about the FI form is when you get to the end and you save their information, it will prompt you with the questions to ask. It will say, has your financial advisor talked about the gap that you will have when you get to retirement? No. Do you think it's important to do that now or then? Well, now. Okay, great. We have a subject matter expert that can take a look for you on that for a free evaluation, and then connect with Greg. Same thing with Debt Free Life. I appreciate, Stella, you mentioning Sydney, because Sydney and I turned a case over to her, and she did a phenomenal job, built rapport with this family. And last week, over $19,000 APV on one case, guys. And that's just what was counted for us. The entire case was somewhere, sitting around $50,000, total 48,000, I think, total that the client is putting into this case, of which we count, roughly $19,000 as part of our APV. So, again, can we individually uncover these? Sure, but there's a lot of moving pieces here. So why not take it to the subject matter experts? Let them do what they do best. Let them help you get that business closed. And we have two products here in retirement. Everybody's concerned about retirement, especially this last year, 2022. If you don't follow the markets, I can tell you it was an ugly year. It was very, very rough. A lot of projections for 23 don't seem much better. So there's probably going to be more people who are opening their statements for the first time, their end of year statement, and seeing all the red numbers and not very happy. So if you're not asking those questions, you're going to miss out. They're going to miss out. You're not going to help your client. And again, you're going to fall into that no sale mind trap. Same thing with Debt Free Life. This is a product that allows people to get out of debt faster than they ever thought possible. Everybody's in debt. Everybody wants to be out of debt. That's a no-brainer question.
Chris, can I
Anybody else?
Oh, sorry. Can I just add real quick to what you just said? You caught my ear. You guys, if you didn't pay close attention to what he just said, it's so huge what he said. Because if you focus on, oh my gosh, the world is, going downward spiral, no one has money, this and that. The reason that I was able to help that couple last night and their premium was like $280 a month is because of that. They're on fixed incomes. We did their little, my little illustration, income and expenses, and their income was like $6,500 and the outgoing was like $2,800. So they could afford, but he was 75, she was 70, and she was concerned that she could stay in a house, but she didn't really have a backup plan for emergencies with inflation, with everything else. So that $25,000 at her disposal right there to help her was a huge deal. Like that, even though their mortgage was like $250,000. And so, just don't get your mind caught up. Don't watch the news, because it's just going to make you depressed and think that nobody, can do anything. That's not true. People want to protect their families, and not just like that, but like what Chris just said, through IULs, advanced markets, the DFLs, the annuities. It's such a great way for them to preserve for the future. We're going to get out of it. I mean, we've been through depression. We've been through worse things before. We're going to get out of it. But until then, this is the perfect way, what he just said, to help people cruise through it and come out on the other side still solid. So I just feel like that was so heavy on my heart, because I was one of those people for a while when where I started listening too much, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's not true. So thank you, Chris, for letting me open up again.
Absolutely. Always, Stella. All right. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? All right. We're good. Let's roll forward. Yeah, so 2023, man, that call we had the other day, powerful call from the owners. Not a lot of, big rollouts, groundbreaking stuff as far as just, flashy announcements like we've had in the past. But in my opinion, as impactful of a call, if not more so than really anything that we've had in recent time, because the things that they are getting to the point of updating and actually bringing to market for us are going to change your business for the better in ways that you none of us really can even comprehend. Even myself, this is my 7th year. January 2016 is when I started. So, here we are, January 2023, and I've seen a lot of things take place over the last 7 years. But I can tell you, we're just now, as many things that we've done and accomplished over that 7 years, and the company as a whole been in business since 2009. And obviously, a huge growth trajectory, and a lot of things have happened. But a lot of that happened kind of as the horse and wagon type approach, where they were crossing the frontier, trying to build this business with pretty crude and rudimentary tools. I'll never forget a conversation I had actually at a leadership conference. Another plug to get there. Guys, I wound up, Scott Mink and I bumped into Marshall Whalen at a Waffle House in Asheville, North Carolina, and wound up having breakfast for 2 hours with Marshall Whalen, and got to listen to him talk about what it was like when he went out and wrote business. Marshall Whalen, top of the company, the guy that you see on there with $1 million a week plus in agency production, started out where you are right now. If you're a brand new agent, even if you haven't written a policy yet, Marshall Whalen sat in your seat on a call like this. In fact, at the time, it wasn't a call like this because they didn't do video calls. They were on. We literally had. I can't remember the names of those those conference call services that we used back then. But you were on a conference call, and then you went out and you took a stack of paper applications, and you went out to the client's home with your big briefcase and probably a laptop that was oversized. And you sat down in front of the client and you wrote applications. And Scott and I laughed because, Marshall was talking about, he's like, yeah, we really didn't understand underwriting. It's like we go through and ask the questions, but because, a lot of times they were traveling hours away from where they lived, it wasn't easy for them to rewrite if they had a application got declined. So they would have them sign 5 different applications with 5 different carriers. They would fill one out, sign 5 of them, put that in the client file, and then submit one. If it got rejected, they'd turn around, fill the other one out. They already had it signed, go back in, submit it. And so it is, I just tell you that story just to tell you where we're at right now, where a lot of us have done business almost exclusively through text, whether that be actually texting on your phone or using Switchboard, which is a text service. A lot of us do our appointments now. If we are doing face-to-face, is face-to-face in this format, where they're on a screen, we're on a screen, and we're filling out the application and we're typing all the information in. We get a pop-up notice, hey, this client's not going to qualify. Oh, no problem. Pivot, and we're on to a new application. The speed of this business has been mind-blowing as far as what's transpired just really in the last 3 years, to be honest with you, but certainly over the last decade. And so that's why, when we get these announcements, I think a lot of us, myself included, even having seen, everything that's innovated in the last 7 years, we still kind of look at it and, yeah, well, that's cool. We kind of shrug it, and just say, well, that sounds good. But we get a little bit desensitized to how impactful some of the changes that are coming down the pipe are going to be for us. A lot that we don't even know about yet. And they've teased that over and over again because it's so huge. I think, number one, from a competitive standpoint, they probably don't want to roll that out too early, so the competitors don't know about it. But also number two, I mean, they've learned a lot over the years that we get excited about new innovation, we roll it out too quickly, and then the train kind of goes off the tracks, and we have to rebuild it and put everything back on, and it causes a headache for everybody. So they've been a little bit more measured in those rollouts. But yeah, the excitement of what's coming down the pipe, guys, the new products that we have, and we mentioned them on the slideshow. That Quilty Term Plus, guys, to be able to go to a table 12 on a term product is just unheard of in the industry. Before now, table 8's really been the only thing that we've had access to, and even that was only with maybe one, maybe two carriers. And in table 8, a lot of us recognize this, somebody is diabetic and probably taking insulin. Well, we're talking about going to table 12 beyond that and being able to put them on a term product. Again, unheard of in the industry. So a lot of those folks where you're trying to take, a situation where they really want 100,000, and now we got to convert them over and say, hey, critical period is a good, and it is, especially for what they can qualify, critical period is a good concept for them to at least get something in place. But a lot of times we're taking them from 100,000 to 10,000. And something's better than nothing, absolutely. But if we can get a situation where we can cover clients up to table 12, and I don't know what those coverage levels are going to be, but I guarantee you it's going to be more than 10,000 of whole life. That's going to be life-changing for a lot of families that really need that coverage, that, waited too late to make that decision. Like Stacy, you were talking to the lady at 41 who had a stroke, who has a stroke at 41. Well, people do. People do have strokes at 41. Unfortunately, it's not a high probability, but I always say 1 in a million doesn't mean anything unless you're that one person in a million, and then it means everything. And so, having a product that we can help families up to table 12 is going to be game changer. And then beyond that, having Quilty Navigator. And again, this is brand new product. It's going to be rolled out. Looks like sometime into January, into February, maybe into February. But Navigator, which is basically just a single source application, meaning you fill out one application, and the application is going to, number one, direct you to what product they should qualify for within our suite of products. But again, I started out talking about a conversation of Marshall Whalen going out into the home with a briefcase full of applications and filling out 5 per client just to make sure he gets something put through. And we're talking about now filling out 1 online that can be directed whichever direction we need it to go to get the coverage that we need for that client. That's kind of going to the moon and beyond. That's going from wagon days to spaceship. And on top of that, we think, okay, well, they're building out Navigator. That's great. That's going to be Quilty Level Term and Quilty Term Plus. No, that's the start of it. That's the start of it. Because I don't know if you caught it on the Wednesday call, but I've been hearing about this. And they are going to be rolling out a full suite of Quilty products. So think final expense, think IUL, think annuities. Think about eventually, we're going to have disability. We're going to have the critical illness. All these products, and we run it through a single source application. Where Stacy, you can talk to this. You can tell these people what it's like to write an application and then turn around and collect the same information because you want to write a second application. You want to write their base application, but then you want to write an accidental and then maybe a disability. And what are you doing? You're filling out 3 separate applications. One single source application, and then direct that to as many products as you need. Guys, that is phenomenal. That is game changer. But beyond that, having all those products in-house, because we're a broker, and there's an advantage of that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, having all these products that we can, direct our clients to and get them qualified based on their situation. But having all those products in-house, number one, we have control over the comp, so they're designing these. So, hey, fewer layers means more compensation for us. So more comp comes back to us. Easier underwriting, because it's streamlined. It's going to be through our carriers that we choose, or underwriters that we choose to underwrite those products. But also from a numbers tracking standpoint, one of the big challenges in this business is we get our promotions based off of issue paid. And a lot of you were tracking what was happening last month. We're going for a third month of issue paid. And we still don't know what those numbers are because, quite frankly, we don't get that report until about mid-month of the following month. So we still don't know what those numbers are. We're fingers crossed. We think there's a good chance that we hit the numbers, but there's a lot of variables there. Having your own suite of products that you're able to write, that you can see real time what your issue paid is going to be a game changer for all of you in managing your business, in managing your promotions, and moving up the chain. On day 28 of a 30-day month, well, gosh, we're $5,000 short. Where are we going to come up with $5,000 business? Well, we're jumping on the phones. We're going to crank out $5,000 worth of instant issue business, because that's the other thing about what these products do through Navigator, through Quality Term Plus. We write those applications, and eventually the IULs. Guys, do you realize the IUL is going to be an instant decision product? That is unheard of in the industry, where you could write a product and hit the button submit at the end, and it will tell you, congratulations, your client is approved. So, yes, Stella, I know you're over there bouncing like you got to go to the bathroom. I think you're wanting to tell us something.
I love everything you're saying. I'm so excited. When I went to Cabo, I had a one-on-one conversation with Brian Pope on the top of the roof over drinks. And he told me specifically, we talked about this new platform on the IULs. He told me the back end, like how they're working with, getting that, we'll be seeing those instant decisions real soon. And that they're highly competitive, if not better than F&G. So let that sink in, Sydney, Stacy, Greg, and all the rest of you that have already written with F&G. That's huge. And like you said, instant decision. Like, that's just so huge with highly competitive products. Huge. Amazing.
That is. And since Stella's going to do some name dropping, talking to one of the founders of the company on top of the hotel at Cabo, let's just go ahead and put a pin in. Why don't more of you qualify for these trips? Let's get some more people there so we can all go talk to Brian Pope and Brandon Ellison and Casey Watkins, and then we can talk about how we hobnob on top of the hotel over drinks with the founders. But that's
I'm reminiscent
great.
because I miss it so bad. We talk about how association is so powerful here, y'all. Like, if you could just imagine being in conversations with the best of the best and just having them speak into you, the conversations, like you said, you had breakfast, a 2-hour breakfast with Marshall Whalen. He was also there, and I see him at every one of these trips. And he is he's like a lovable teddy bear. He's so kind. Like, the thing I love about our culture is that the people here, just like you, Chris, like you're so, it's so real. It's, it's the people here care so much about our success and all the things that you all do, like who you are, Chris. That's what keeps me here, and who they are and what they're doing to get us, the products that we need and the resources is just, it's like a dream come true in the best IMO ever. And so, yeah, I talk about it because I'm reminiscing, like, I had the best time. And yes, like, go get it. I can't believe how close any of you are. Like, oh my gosh, it's just such an incredible opportunity here.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, again, all of our carriers with the exception of Americo provide trips, but Americo gives you cash. So they say take the cash and take your own trip if you want, or spend it on some toys, whatever you want to do. But the point is, all of our carriers have incentives, and Symmetry has incentives, trips that you can earn through production, through doing what you're already doing, and that is providing for your families, by going out and helping other families. This is really a win-win-win business. So guys, we're going to kind of, as we come down towards the end of the call, we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing on an agency level, because I'm excited about some of the things that we've got coming up here very soon for you. One of those is we're going to be doing a all year special speaker series. Again, I've been around 7 years now and made connections throughout the Symmetry land, and we're going to leverage that. It's kind of, you've built up some capital with some other agencies and some people, interactions, and times where we've maybe had to work through something with other agencies and help them out, and they help us out. And everybody is very willing and eager to help. And so anyway, but we're definitely going to leverage those connections. And so we're going to have a special speaker series. First special speaker will be coming on the 20th of this month. So I believe that's 2 weeks out, I think, if I remember right. I'm not going to announce who it is yet, but it is going to be a 120 with the company. So somebody who's at the top, so 130, excuse me. Talk about old dogs, new tricks. This is, I'm still having to learn the new language of now. Our top contract is 130. So we're going to have a 130 on with us on January 20th. And so what I would love from you all, and we're going to put an actual, maybe we can put together a little survey, kind of an open forum survey. What do you want to have, or what do you want to hear from these speakers as they come on? It could be about the business. It could be about their journey in the business, recruiting, production, how to rise to the top of the company. We want to hear from you, because we're going to ask these folks as we bring them on. We're going to ask them your questions so that you can take their answers and figure out how to integrate that into your business. So first of our special speaker series coming up January 20th. We'll get a survey out to you and be looking at what questions do you want to be able to ask these people from these top level performers. Some of them are going to be, top level producers. Some are going to be top level agency builders, top of the company, equity partners, people that are, that are generating that top level bonus that you see, people that are earning, almost, well, you take a look at Marshall and Edward, 6-figure bonuses every month, but a lot, even if you look down the list, a lot of 5-figure bonuses coming in on those equity partners, and this is the opportunity to be able to hear from those folks in a setting just like this, where they're going to be one of the blocks on our screen, and we get an opportunity to have them share and pour into this team. So that's exciting, guys. We wanted to bring some real value to the team and to our calls moving forward here into 2023, and help us all raise our floor. That concept comes from a guy that I watched. I've been watching a lot here lately. I've heard him and read some of his stuff in the past, but he is really cranking out some content, and really phenomenal content here lately. And I'll recommend him, Dr. Benjamin Hardy. In fact, he's putting a lot of stuff out on YouTube. For those of you who are like me, very visual auditory learners, man, he's putting out 15, 20-minute videos almost daily on YouTube. I strongly encourage you, as part of your routine, daily routine, whether that be morning, midday, evening, whatever that is, where you like to plug into personal development, pull up one of his videos, and the content that he is cranking out right now is very applicable to what we're doing, or what we do in this business. Because this is, at the end of the day, guys, this is one of the most challenging businesses. I hesitate to say that, So for some of you who are new, you think, what did I get myself into? It is a challenging business. But, the thing about it, and what hats off to everybody on the screen, if you've written one application in this business, you have done more than what 90% of the population can do just writing one application. The ability to reach out, to talk to somebody, to make that connection, to earn their trust, to be able to find their needs, match up a product, get them to move forward with the application, get them approved, get that coverage in place. Guys, that is, that's a tall task. And so, for those of you who are performing at the top levels of the company, Spencer, Stella, Stacy, Sydney, I'm going to get in trouble here mentioning names, trying to grab everybody. Greg, Jim, all of you who've gone out and written multiple applications and helped a lot of people and done so at a fairly high level, writing either big applications or a lot of applications or a combination of both or retirement rollovers, that is elite. And I don't care if you're not showing up on the national leaderboards. I'm telling you, if you're able to do that consistently, that is elite in my book, because much of the population can't even fathom what we do. It breaks their brain to understand exactly what we do, and they don't understand it. They don't get it. So I say that just to say, hats off to all of you who go out, regardless of where you're at in production. If you're going out and growing and building and making it happen and growing yourself, maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you keep going out and making those connections and helping those people. Just hats off. You truly are part of an elite group in society. So guys, excited for 2023. Big things already out, but more coming. So plug into your mentor, plug into the resources, plug into the national calls, the local calls, everything that you can absorb. And 2023 is going to be a big year for this business, for this company, for this industry, and for the industry because of what we're doing. I love when Brandon and Casey, in fact, Casey brought it up on the national call on Wednesdays, that, we're watching a lot of other companies don't have a clue what's coming. They haven't even taken steps to begin innovation. And that's the history of the insurance industry. It's a very old, conservative, slow moving industry. And for a lot of reasons, that's why it's a very good industry. They don't make a lot of risky moves, but sometimes because of that, they miss out on, the opportunity to innovate and to lead. And what I love about our company is we're a solid company with good ethics that does business the right way, the way, the industry would recognize as a solid company, but we're also innovative. We're cutting edge. So we've taken the best of both worlds, and you all are perfectly positioned. I don't care if this is day one for you or you've been here a while. You're perfectly positioned to ride that tidal wave, and it's going to be fun, gang. All right. Well, we'll wrap up the call. We're at the top of the hour, and I know a lot of you have got still a lot of appointments and business to wrap up the week and hit all of our goals for production and growth. So we will wrap up the call, let you get on with your day. Thank you all, and have a great week. We'll see you on next week.
I'm going to open up my Zoom room.
Woo!
Oh, Zoom room. Join Stacy in the Zoom room.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Bye-bye.